Ben Stiller, who is the director of a show called Severance. It first came out in 2022. People could not stop talking about it. I binged it. I've been waiting for years for season 2, so it's back on Apple TV+. And Adam Scott, he is the star of this series. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. When I tell you people have been waiting for season 2, we've been waiting. Season 2 is so good. But here is my interview with both of them. They're fun together. Take a look.
Why did you do this? What is this all about?
When you first read the script for Severance, did you think it would dominate your life this much?
Not at all. Probably the opposite. I thought, oh, this is going to be a fun pilot to direct. And then as we were working on it, I was like, well, maybe I'll do a few more episodes because such a great team. And here we are 5 years later.
How was this pitched to you? Because Patricia Arquette just told me that she couldn't even wrap her head around the idea of the tone of this for several episodes. Like, how was this pitched to you?
Well, it was first pitched to me by Ben on the phone in January of 2017. And he just told me, like, the elevator pitch, just the quick, like, 3-sentence idea of what the show is. And I couldn't get it out of my head for, like, a year until I finally did read a script.
Yeah.
And my reaction to it was, I doubt I'll ever actually get to do this, but I hope so.
That's amazing. Were you nervous at all putting this out into the universe just because it is so different, and then watching how the obsession grew with viewers? Because we were obsessed with it when it first came out, that first season.
I mean, I wasn't nervous when we were making it the first season until the end, until we finished. And then I had this moment where I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, now we have to show this to people, and are they even going to like this?
Yeah.
Because you don't know. You're just, we were in a bubble. And then it was amazing to have such a great fan base that grew, and that people were so into the details of the show.
Do you know everything that's going on, or are you in the dark a little bit as well? Like, do you know what Lumen Industries is?
Yeah, I mean, I'm someone that likes to know, like, the big picture.
Yeah.
I enjoy, but I totally get actors who want to be in the dark just for, like, performance reasons, but I like to know as much as possible, and constantly asking Dan and Ben, like, the kind of big picture question.
Okay, so you have been let in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, because I get the sense that all the actors knew.
Adam is actually a really active producer on the show.
Cool.
And we talk about everything, and I rely on him as a producer because he just has such a great eye, and knowing this character better than anybody too. So.
But we actually love talking about Severance and spend a lot of time doing so.
I love that. I've heard that you are a very specific director.
Uh-huh.
Very specific.
Who have you been talking to?
Everybody. How specific is he?
It's not about hair, is it?
No. Why? Your hair does look great, though.
No, because I know the Brit sometimes.
Everyone was saying you have very high standards, and they love that.
Yeah, I mean, look, the show is pretty specific in terms of its sort of like the visual language and all that. But we have such an amazing group of actors. I mean, honestly, I'm not, when Chris Walkin is there, I'm not telling Chris anything other than action and cut. And but with Adam.
Everything.
He's no Chris Walkin, first of all.
No, it's Chris Walkin is Chris Walkin. Yeah. So, but Adam, I feel like we have after a few years of doing this, we have a really good sort of back and forth with it. And, when you have actors who can actually take a note and do something with, like, they can actually listen to it and do something with it, and you only do that when you feel like you have partners who are, like, open to that.
Yeah.
And the thing about Ben is, as a director, he has incredibly high standards, which is a good thing because you can trust everything he says. It's the reason he's my favorite director to work with, is that I trust his taste implicitly and him creatively implicitly.
Yeah. I'm not cool enough to say Chris Walkin, but I did just interview Christopher Walkin.
Okay.
He told me such lovely stories about your dad.
Oh.
And getting to work with you. Is that wild, being able to direct him in a show like this?
Yes. There's never a moment when I'm working with Chris Walkin that I'm not like, or Christopher Walkin, that I'm not going, I'm working with Christopher Walkin.
Yeah.
And he is one of the sweetest people I've ever met. And yeah, he and my folks, went way back. My dad worked with him on Broadway for a long time. And, it's just a dream come true.
Yeah, he was, he loved talking about your dad. It was actually really sweet to see that. I know I'm not supposed to ask this, but Meet the Parents 4, did you have to break the internet? Everyone is so excited.
I mean, I'm excited about the idea of it. You know, it looks like it might happen, and it's, you know, any chance to work with Robert De Niro, I put him right up there with Christopher Walkin.
Gotta get in on this.
I know. First of all, it just has to happen, right? We have to have another Meet the Parents movie.
I want to get into the Step Brothers sequel.
That's right.
And be like,
we should do a crossover. Meet the Parents, Meet the Step Brothers,
like your older cousin who's I don't know,
horrible a-holes.
Because Derek in Step Brothers is one of my favorite characters.
Two horrible a-holes. Love that.
It's gorgeous. That's one of the catchphrases in our house.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Really fun. So the second season of Severance premieres this Friday on Apple TV Plus, and I got to go to New York to interview them. And just so you know, we talked a lot about Christopher Walkin. That interview is coming up later in the month too. So stay tuned for that.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's exciting.
All right. Thanks, Morgan.
Hey.